Welcome everyone to our Saturday morning masterclass from Overwhelm to Organized and how to build structure that actually works. So I always feel like September is such a space of creating routines. The kids are going back to school. There's a different smell in the air. The trees are looking different. Things are different. It's kind of like a different season in nature, but also can be a different season in life. And so it's a good time to have a reset, right? Start things again, start anew. And I don't know about you, but do you ever find yourself saying, why am I working so hard and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere? I'm not getting the things done that I want to get done. I'm always on the go. I always feel like I don't have enough time. I'm always crunching time and trying to get the most out of it, but I'm really not going where I want to go. And so for me, I always seems like sometimes I'm pushing, sometimes I'm frustrated and not following through on the things that I really want to be doing. So I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but I feel like that quite often. Life can get messy. It can be messy. And if we think about how can I do things differently? What if I got clear on what I want? What if I had some structure, some strategy? What if things were easy? What if things came easy to me? And I think life can be so much easier and feel so much better in just how we live our everyday. And can we actually live our life just enjoying our journey? Is that actually possible? And so I know that so many of us, and just in the women that I talk to, we feel like life is, in one word, it's busy,
Mhm.
right? It's to-do list, it's responsibility, it's those obligations, it's the things that we feel we need to be doing to get to where we want to go, or sometimes life just consumes us in that this is what I'm doing and this is what I have to do and this is what I have to do, right? But if we can just pause for a moment and realize that we're actually not going in the direction that we want to be going, that we're not achieving the things that we want to be achieving, and we are not feeling the way we want to feel. And so today, that's one of my goals, is just to go over how this feeling of overwhelm can feel for each of us, what that looks like. And then I have 3 tips, kind of tools that I'm hoping that I'm going to share with you I'm hoping will make your journey just a little bit easier. So just a little bit about my background and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm Judy Lee. I'm the vision creator. I live in central Alberta in Canada. I empower women to create their dream life. We start with a vision. We bring that into reality. I have a business, marketing, administrative background from college years ago. I spent 16 years as a dispatcher with the RCMP, and I had a brick and mortar cafe and catering business that I was a partner in for 13 years also. And so now here I am on this journey of helping other women just create the life that they would love to be living. And I really feel like this is my vision. This is my passion. This is what God has given me as my purpose to share with other people and just teach women about what I've learned over the last 10 years or so. And as far as my business goes, I've always done a 30-day plan, right? We here in business, like you do a quarter, you do a 90-day plan, you plan things out for 90 days. And I've always had that system in my business, but looking back, I haven't been really intentional of it in it. I feel like, that those goals are kind of out there somewhere, but I wasn't really focused on what I was doing. So in my business group that I'm in right now, a mentorship, we meet every Wednesday, and it was really has been encouraged to us to create this 90-day plan. So I got really intentional about what this was. I sat down with my resources and I planned out my next 90 days. And I know what I wanted to do. I know the result that I wanted at the end of those 90 days. So I just created a plan around that and strategically knew what I wanted to do and how I was going to get there. And I was very focused and committed to showing up every day in doing that plan. And so now that my plan will be up from this quarter, the end of September, and as I look back, I'm kind of tracking things and looking at what I've done. It's very obvious. It's very obvious the growth. It's very obvious in the structure that I've created and how I've kind of changed things over the time. I feel much more at ease. I have a lot more intention, like I say, in doing what I say I'm going to do, and I'm much more purposeful in doing all of this and much more accountable, right? Just because I set out at the beginning, this is what I'm going to do, and I've just created intention around doing what I'm going to do. But what is more obvious to me is where I was falling short, where my gaps were. And as much as I have been tracking numbers, I can also see where I haven't been showing up. And then I know why, right? And so it's been such an interesting journey in just seeing where I was, where I want to go, where maybe I wasn't showing up, and how I can do things differently going forward. And so that's why I'm sharing this 90-day reset program that I've created. And it's a process that helps us move from being scattered, from being overwhelmed and feeling stuck into more of a space of being clear on what we want and creating some momentum in what we're doing. So I just want to give you a taste of that today. What I've been doing and sharing 3 strategies that you can start using right away that will help you to create change in your life. And so having a plan is critical, right? If we want to set out to do something and have a goal, we have to have some kind of a plan that's going to make us successful and achieve that goal and really start to feel good about your life. So there's this saying, and we've all heard it, if we fail to plan, we're actually planning to fail. And so what happens, right? We end up with whatever we had yesterday, right? And so that's okay if that's okay with you. But if you are longing for something different, if you've had that dream in your heart that you don't know what to do with, and we want to quit circling our goals so much and really start to follow through and pursue the goal and the dream that we have in our heart, right? Then it's time to make some changes and do things differently. And you know what? This can be anything. It can be life in general. I have so many women that come to me wanting to declutter their life, declutter their home, and really start cleaning up things. It can be changing those daily habits, what we do and what we think about. It can be ramping up your self-care, taking better care of yourself. Maybe it's getting deeper into your faith. Maybe it's taking your business to the next level. Maybe it's planning your next career. Maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's writing a book, right? Whatever that dream is for you, it's always achievable. And so when we talk about structure, like what is that? What am I referring to? But when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling scattered, like we've been dropped into this bomb of chaos, right? We just need to take some sort of action. So that's our number one step, is we have to get clear. We start with clarity. We always start with clarity. It's the vision, it's the dream. It's getting clear on where I am, what's working for me, what isn't working for me. And then what do I want? What's on the other side of this? What do I want? So clarity is that bridge. We're over here, we're overwhelmed, we're in chaos. I want to get to the other side where my dream is, right? So clarity is the bridge between where I am and where I want to go. And if we can do this by journaling, it's so, so beneficial. Just getting all of your thoughts out on a piece of paper, what's overwhelming me, all of the things that I have to do. It's the conversations that I'm having. It's a person that's frustrating me. It's a technology that's frustrating me. So what is that chaos? And if we can write all of that down, it's like a brain dump, right? We get everything out of our brain that's keeping our nervous system high, that's keeping me stuck. If we can name it, if we can put it into words, even if we can say it out loudly, it's so, so helpful. And then we think about, okay, I've got all of that out. What's on the other side of that? What do I want? Get back to my vision, get back to my goals, get back to that dream that I hold inside. So what do I want? Right? What do I want? Why do I want that? Why is that important? So if we don't have a strong connection between what and why, we're easily swayed. We're going to see all of the shiny objects. Maybe I'm not on the right path. I'm going to try this over here because this is working for somebody else. Right? And we're not as committed to our dream, our goal, our plan, our vision. Right? So when our vision is strong, we know clearly what we want and we have that deep why that keeps us going, that keeps our confidence high, that keeps us in our momentum. And we do the things we say we're going to do. It makes it so much easier. So what and why is so important. When I started doing this and I had encouragement from my mentor and created this big vision and, had big goals and this dream for what I knew I wanted to do and God wanted me to do. And it's scary, right? It's really scary. All those fears will come up and it's like, okay, I'm not really sure about this. I have this fear of being visible. I have a fear of people judging me. They're going to laugh at me, right? But when we know what and why, we can fight off those fears so much easier. Like, this is my mission in my life. I need to keep pursuing this and I'm going to work around these fears and get back on my path and go forward, right? So the more clarity we have, the more it increases our confidence to go out and do the things that we say we're going to do and do those consistently, right? The things that we do consistently get us closer to where we're going to go. And so I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but do you have a big vision that scares you? And what's scary about that, right? What holds you back? If you want to share in the chat, I'd love to see what that is. And, I think when we do this and even talking about this out loud, I think sometimes we have the same feelings and the same fears about what's going on in our life. So I've been following Ray Higdon for quite some time. He is a network marketing guru. He's a coach and a trainer. He doesn't do so much of that now, but he has great life experience and life advice. And, I was listening to his live yesterday, and he just talked about vision and our purpose and our mission in life and how many of us won't do this work because we believe deep down that it's not going to work out. Like, I can never do that, right? I don't have enough skills. I haven't gone to college. I don't have enough skills to do this, right? It's too risky. And again, people are going to reject me. People are going to judge me. I'm going to waste my time, right? So when that happens, what do we do when we come up against those fears, right? We stay where we are. We stay in the overwhelm. We stay in the chaos. We stay stuck where we are and we stay in this mess, right? So it really is a work. It's a work in progress. Nothing happens overnight, right? And there is certain things that have to be done in a certain order. And it really is a journey over time with those little baby steps that we take forward. So that's all about clarity and how important it is to just sit in the quiet and really think about what you want in your life, what you want in your business, what you want in your relationships, right? So number 2 is going to be about the structure that we talk about. And again, when we think about structure, we go back to what we want and why we want it. Why is that important? What am I doing? Where am I going? How am I going to do this? What's my very first action step that I can take today? And what is that going to be over the next 90 days? How does that work into my 60-day plan? And what is my goal going to be over the next 30 days, over the next week? What is my goal for today? What am I doing that brings me forward into that? And so, again, we get frustrated in this. We get stuck. It feels messy. We don't have focus, right? We get tired. We get burnt out from doing it all. So how does that show up for you? What do you call when you get stuck? Is it stuck? Is it messy? Is it chaos? Sometimes for me, I'll hear myself saying, is that, oh gosh, I just feel so scattered, right? Like I'm all over the place. I don't even know what I'm doing. And that's my trigger, right? When I start to hear that, I need to reset. I need to close my office door and maybe go out and sit on the deck or have a cup of tea and just reset my nervous system, reset my brain, get me back into calm, get me back into peace, get me back into a state of ease where things seem easy again. It's hard, right? And just start breathing again, and it resets our body, resets our brain. And again, if we're in the space and the place where we can write things down and kind of release all those things, all the triggers, all the things that I have to do, all of the frustrations and the anger that I have built up, the angst, and we just start again, right? We reset and we go again. It's like a restart. It's like a refresh. It's like we reset. And once that's all out and cleared, then we can start again, right? So again, just a brain dump and creating some kind of structure. And if we can get out of that loop that we have in our mind and in our body, right? Get back to the plan, get back to that structure that we've created, the strategy, the plan. Maybe it's just a list, whatever you want to call it, however you do that. The sooner that we can do that and start following through again, we can start experiencing the things that we want to be experiencing and get us out of that stuck mode, get us out of that scattered, right? So if we don't plan for the plan, we have nowhere else to go. And so again, we start to create that structure, what's important, why it's important, and then create, okay, how am I going to do this? What's my first step? And so more that we do this, it's thinking about, okay, how can I shift this and how can I get back on track? And we just, like I say, it's just like a reset. We give ourselves grace. Sometimes we have to close the door and we just start again. And it's prioritizing, right? What's important? What's next? And so basically, this structure, this strategy is just the action. We're going to get clear again on what we're doing and why, and we're going to start again. So we have a lot of resources we use in the mastermind and in the Goal Getters program that help keep us accountable, help keep us consistent, help us work around life when it happens, so we know what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. And it helps to create some kind of ease in our life. Okay, today I have this going on. I have a few appointments. I have family things. Okay, I have this amount of time that I can dedicate to what I am doing. And that's when I'm going to do that work. So the more that we have that intention, it helps us stay committed to what we're going to do. So again, without a plan, we stay where we are. And if we're looking for change, we have to be the change, right? And that starts in our mind first. So in the programs that I run, we always start out small. We start with baby steps. We start with those small changes. And the more that we do of those little things every day, they add up to the big changes. And I don't know who it was that said, right? Success is inevitable when we show up consistently and do those little things every day. And so the third tip that I'd like to leave with you in relation to this structure is all about accountability, right? And accountability is often the missing piece between our goal and having the confidence to go forward and embracing the future that we want to be experiencing. And when we think about it, if we had the confidence, we didn't have any fear, we didn't have any obstacles to do what we wanted to do and reach that goal, right? We would just go out and do it.
Not really interested in it.
No fear,
No listening.
no objections. But fear tends to show up, sneaks in, and keeps us stuck without even. Okay, so accountability keeps us consistent. And it really is that support that we need to go forward. So we create the plan, we have the resources, We know that someone is going to be there to help us, and it keeps us accountable to what we say we're going to do. And it's all about keeping the commitment to yourself. And it really puts a time frame on our goals, right? This is what I'm going to do, and this is my time period. This is what I'm doing this week, this month. This all relates to my 90-day goal. Because we know that, I don't know about you, but motivation comes and goes, right? Comes and goes. Sometimes I feel empowered and energetic, and other days it gets kind of hard to show up, right? So that's when that accountability steps in, is when our motivation seems to be a little bit low and fades away. So it gives us someone to check in with, it gives us that structure to follow, and it gives us those reminders that keep us moving. And so ultimately, we're just building our trust in ourselves, right? I was reading about a study that showed 60% of people are more likely to reach their goal if they share it with someone that checks in on them. So maybe it's that accountability buddy, it's a friend, it's a group. And when we are supported, we don't feel alone, right? And if you're a solopreneur, I think we all know it can be very lonely, right? Working on our own, working online. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that women stay stuck, is because we don't know what to do, right? I don't know what to do today. I don't have the motivation. It's because we're trying to do it alone. Accountability is going to create momentum, right? So when you have someone checking in with you, celebrating your wins and helping you kind of course correct when things get overwhelming and don't go as planned, it really changes everything. So we're not relying on that fleeting motivation. We actually have a plan that works, and keeping accountable is that support and that structure that we need. And it's really beautiful when we bring in these three pieces together: clarity, structure, and accountability, that everything shifts. So we can wake up knowing what we're going to do in that day, knowing that we have a very clear vision for our future and a dream that really pulls on our heart that's important to us, right? So we know what to focus on each day. And it's so great to have the encouragement in a group with myself, maybe another women in the group, and have that support to follow through on those things that we want to be doing. And so that's what the 90-day reset is all about. It's designed to take you from scattered, from overwhelmed, from feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing. And we go to have some focus and some momentum in what we want to be experiencing. So we can finally start creating that life that we've been dreaming about. So I'd like to show you how that works. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so this is the 90-day reset. I didn't realize that was going to be so bright. So it's just a way to reset and refresh your life. So just going back to the three pillars that I mentioned today, number one is clarity, right? Wouldn't it be wonderful to sit on this deck with your cup of coffee and just breathing that in and just creating something new in your life? So we start with vision, clarity, getting clear on what you want. So the lady down in the bottom there, she's doing a vision board. And we'll have an exercise to do this, whether or not you want to do a board, a journal, just create some kind of a notebook with some ideas in it. But it's all about getting clear. And this is submitted through an email. There will be a recording of this in our group. And this is something that we work on individually, just because sometimes it takes some time. So this is all about clarity. And then we talk about our structure. So we talk about SMART goals. So important to have a SMART goal, something that's specific and measurable, something that we can actually attain, something that's relevant to your goal, your 30-day goal, your 60, your 90-day goal, and something that's time bound. So, okay, this week I'm going to work on this. I'm going to have these many follow-ups done by Friday. So something like that. And then we have different sheets. We have a goal setting worksheet. We have a daily to-do list, a weekly to-do list. We have monthly trackers. We have a yeah, just different resources that help us stay on track. So it's like every Monday we reset, right? This is my goal for the week. I created on Monday, and this is what I'm going to do all week. And the next Monday, okay, I review that those goals from last week, and I'm going to change them. I'm going to keep working on them. So it's like we reset every Monday in relation to our 90-day goal. And then you have the accountability piece. So this is a goal getters accountability program where again, we submit our goals on the Monday. We talk about what we've been doing all week. There's lots of support in the group with different women. We have a rewards system. So the more that we're commenting and supporting, we're rewarded for that. And it's really about being held accountable by myself in a group setting and also the other women that are on the same path. And sometimes when we know that someone is out there doing the same things that I am, it can be so beneficial because I think we get frustrated, right? And especially again, when we're feeling alone and doing this alone, working from home and on our computer or on our phone, this can be a great, great support. And so this is the 90-day reset. So we start October 1st with that clarity class that I talked about. It's something that you work on individually because it's nice to just sit in the quiet and do that. Every other week, we have an online Zoom group coaching call. I said Zoom there twice. Yeah, and during these calls, we ask questions, there's support. We talk about different things in relation to what you're working on, and we work through those pillars. Again, the clarity, the structure, the strategy, and the accountability. Accountability is through the goal getters group. There's trainings in there on goal setting and that type of thing also. I do have a mastermind that's working right now. This is a different format, I guess you would say. So there'll be opportunities for Q&As. There'll be some hot seats. Again, there's the reward system in the goal getters. There'll be additional trainings, resources, and a library, just depending on what you're looking for will be available. And this is a testimonial from Rhonda. Rhonda is in the mastermind. She is crushing it. And if you want to just quickly read through this, she just talks about where she was when she started without a plan and just kind of the fly by the seat of my pants. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but sometimes I feel like that too, with without a structure. So she did the vision classes with me and joined the mastermind. And I love how she says she just knew that she deep down that she had to do this. And for the first time, I had someone besides me holding me accountable. I'm setting goals, I'm planning my week and following through. That's huge for someone like me who's always winged it. And like I say, she's doing so awesome. And too, she says, I'm a work in progress. And I think that's so important to recognize too. Nothing happens overnight. And unfortunately, it doesn't often happen on the timeline that we think it's going to happen, but we just have to keep going, right? And thinking about that vision that we have in the future is what keeps us going. And so this is the program. We start October 1st. It's $444 for the 3 months. And this is what I'm doing as a soft launch, just around the structure of this and what we're going to be doing and things that I'm going to be adding in as I know from the participants that we need to add in. I can do payments if that helps you. And I just love to talk to you. And whether you're interested in this program or not, I'd love to talk to you with no obligation and just a clarity call. And love to talk about vision all day long. And again, just no obligation. So if we think about our life after we reset, and sometimes even our day after we reset, right? Just waking up with energy and just sometimes just knowing what I'm going to do and really what am I here on this earth for? Like, what is my purpose? What is my mission? What am I here to do? And that can help us to think differently and even just feel differently about ourselves and our lives that we are doing. And sometimes when we have that simple plan that fits our life and know that we're supported, it just encourages us to go forward. So this is what is possible when we say yes to a reset. And this is an invitation to maybe start not doing things on your own. So that ends my presentation, and I'd love to answer any questions if anyone has anything to ask. Just going to check. Oh, Rhonda from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been gearing up for a healthy habit accountability next week. Awesome. Healthy habits, that's good. Mary Lou's doing a book launch. Yeah, she's a girl with a dream. Girl with a dream. Girl on a mission. Master of chaos. Yeah, I get that. Some of those days, right? Staying safe. Yeah, that's another one, right? Sometimes we choose what is comfortable. And sometimes we don't know any different. No, right? I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to do that, but this is me where I am, and it's okay. That's okay. Sometimes we're ready. We'll be ready for more.
So I
Beautiful.
have a quick question.
Yes.
With me already, and you may have told me this on our last call and I just can't remember. With me already being in the mastermind, is this like one and the same as that, or is this completely
Yeah.
separate?
No, you're in, and whatever you were in at is where you'll continue at. So
Oh, okay.
this is just going to be a new group, and we're going to have, like I say, a new format. Just we're going to run, because we do run in the 90 days, but I'm just going to be more focused on the 90-day plan and just that structure around it.
Okay.
So you're in for a bonus. That's all. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions.
Sorry, Judy.
Oh, Evelyn has a question.
I was delayed. I put it in the chat, but I thought I'm going to speak instead.
Yes.
So, you say it starts October 1st and then it's every other Monday. That would fall on Thanksgiving. Is that
So
third?
it's every other Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
How did I get Monday?
Maybe I wrote down Monday, but it's okay. It's Wednesdays anyway.
Then it
Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
And if people are interested in a daytime class, I would be open to that if there was a few participants, if that helps anyone. Yeah, I know. It's hard when we don't have a specific schedule, right? When we're available. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
We'll
you.
keep in touch.
Yes.
Okay, ladies. Well, I appreciate you all being here, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. Hopefully there's sunshine where you are, and take good care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Judy.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.